Hello everybody, Geoffrey Herberg here, and I'm really excited to be part of this fantastic Reality Bite series being put together and presented on behalf of the AHC. The topic that I'd like to talk about is something that I think all of us are really passionate about, and it's all about marketing ideas and ways that you can build your business. So 30 years this year as a hairdresser, and I've learnt lots and lots of things along the way. So for those of you who don't know, I've actually had 3 salons along the way, a small one, a large one, and then back to a medium-sized salon. But I don't have a salon anymore. But when I'm in salons doing education, people are always asking me for some ideas on how they could market their salon and attract new clients and obviously get busy. And sometimes I think we need to all establish and understand our market, because understanding your market is probably the best way that you can actually attract clients, because a lot of us are trying to attract clients, but we don't really understand the type of client that is the one that we really want to come to our salon. So first of all, you need to establish the type of client that you would love to come to your salon. There are lots of fantastic ways that you can promote your business, and lots of ways you can market your business, but I'm going to talk about the ones that I think are really, really important. Online booking. We live in this social media world and we're all time poor, and I'm sure everyone's got their opinion on online booking. Yes, sometimes it works, sometimes the client books in for the wrong service. But for me, we are also time poor, and it's a great tool to use to be able to get your clients to book. Now, one of the things that's really, really important that I found is a lot of salons do not have a website. My advice, please invest and get a website of some sort, because that's the landing page where, again, people are going to find a little bit of information about you. So we've got our website, social media handles. So whether you have Facebook, Instagram, all of those sorts of things, engage people to come to you. I don't necessarily believe sometimes that Facebook is the best way to attract clients in terms of boosting posts and that sort of thing. But these days we have some really great people who are specialists in advertising. So if you are able to engage a marketing expert, somebody who's going to be able to help you, have a selfie wall. Now, a selfie wall, we take these beautiful photos of our clients in the back of their heads usually and put them on all our social media, and that looks fantastic. But use a social media wall that's a selfie station. So get your clients to take photos of themselves in your salon when they've had their hair done, because they want to see, people want to see what the hair looks like on the face of the person. So that person will then share on their social media a selfie pic. And you've got your marketing and your logo and all that sort of stuff on the background. So use your existing clients to help promote your business and attract new clients. So to me, that's a really cool one, selfie station. Another little trick though, like when you are promoting and you're putting those photos of the backs of heads, make sure that the bottom of that haircut looks good. Because I see so many of my amazing hairdressing friends that do beautiful color work, and the client doesn't want to necessarily have a haircut. So the ends of their hair look like the rats have been chewing on them. So, is that really a good representation of your salon? Perhaps sponsor a local fashion event, a fashion show, or get involved with the local school, present something at the mother's morning tea, or, get involved with as many activities as you possibly can in your local area. Because, there's so many salons, we're all competing for the same type of client, but, get out there and be active and try and do something rather than just trying to do an ad. People engage with people who they have relationships with. So try and build good relationships with people. You might want to donate a gift basket to a local event or a charity, or there's so many things that you can do in your local community. So get involved with those sorts of things. The other thing I want to talk about, a really great way to market your business, is gift cards. So gift cards are a really great way to grow your business and also maintain loyalty with your clients and attract new ones. My advice with gift cards though, make sure that they're presented beautifully. Whenever I did gift cards in my salon, they were always value added. So what I mean by that is if a client bought a gift voucher, say for example $100, I would always value add it to a higher amount, or I would add something else to it to give extra value to that gift card. They were wrapped in beautiful boxes and they were presented really beautifully as well. And also too, when you accept those gift cards, make sure you accept them with excitement and really acknowledge how special it has that somebody's bought a gift card for. Make sure that your salon is listed on a lot of review sites. So make sure that you've actually claimed your Google place page for your business. It's really, really important. Make sure that you can be seen as many different platforms you possibly can, so that your business, the more often people see it, the more they're going to want to come and see you. For example, with your website, Give some content that's going to give value to people. So put, informative little things that perhaps demonstrate how unique or how special or how clever you all are. So everyone's got to have a point of difference. Now, for me, another thing that I did was rewarding those clients, the ones that have been coming to you forever. And that was the biggest tool for me to grow my business. So I think sometimes we forget about the clients that have been coming to us for a really long time. And it's really, really important that you look after those clients and use them to help gain new business. So how you could do that too is we used to do a send a friend campaign. So we would reward those clients who recommended new clients to us. The new client would receive an introductory offer, and the existing client would. And I think a lot of us are too busy trying to chase the new ones. So look after the ones that you've got. Another thing that you might like to do, besides having a website, is you also might like to have an app. So for those of you who perhaps can afford to have your own Salon app, that could be something that could be unique for people to actually be able to book your services and find out more about you as well. You might like to implement what we call an influencer campaign. So an influencer is somebody who perhaps aligns with the same beliefs that you have for your business or product. But you can get some fantastic contracts. My friend Haley Mears from 600 Gram Media, I'm sure she'd be able to help you with that. When you engage an influencer, because you both really need to be very clear about the objectives of working together, and also see if they're the right representation of your brand. You don't necessarily want to have some swimsuit bikini model as the brand ambassador when your target market is ladies 40 to 60 years of age, for example. Make sure that you always invite your clients to write online reviews. So thank you so much. A lot of our clients, they would love to write things, but sometimes, you've got to invite them to do it. They forget. And perhaps, offer a little reward to those clients, because those testimonials from clients are absolute gold. Another thing that you might like to do is partner with local businesses. So, make sure you go around and you introduce yourself to all of the businesses in your area. Your team members as well. Make sure that they get them, go and get them to get up and introduce themselves. And you don't necessarily have to offer a discount or any of those things to local businesses, but build the relationships. And I think my first salon was in George Street in the city, and that's what I did. I went out and I shook everybody's hand and introduced myself, and that was how I started to build my business. So you might want to have a local publication talk about your salon, so a local paper or a local magazine. And I know sometimes when I've done education in different areas, some of my clients have actually had the media come in and do some fantastic stories about my education and experience it's given the students. So do the same thing for your salon. Whatever it is that's unique about your salon, you need to get it out there. And sometimes, you might need to do an advertisement with a magazine or with a paper, but sometimes they'll follow you up and give you some value-added stuff by some free articles that they might write for you, associated with an ad or even further down the track. So, sometimes I find those articles that are more engaging than doing an ad. So they're really, really cool. Another thing that we've forgotten about too is the information that we gather for our clients. So this is really, really important. You need to gather all the information from your clients to be able to market to them correctly. So, some of us have these fantastic computer systems and programs, but they're only as good as the information in them. And if you aren't constantly updating your information, then that's going to affect your marketing as well. Also too, don't forget how important email is. I know as hairdressers now we get thousands and thousands of emails, but most of our clients, they like opening an email. They feel like they're special. It's like, oh my gosh, isn't that amazing? My hairdresser sent me an email. Isn't that one? I suppose we all have beautiful salon spaces, but be unique. What is so special? So you can market these people, but how are you going to keep them come to your salon? And for me, the biggest thing was the sensory experience that people have when they walked in the door. So what happened when they walked in the door to their experience in the salon and when they left? Because, it's the memories that create a lasting impression. And if people have good memories, they're going to talk about them. To get your clients to check in when they're in the salon. So when they're in the salon, one of the things I've mentioned to some of my salons is while they're at the basin, having a beautiful shampoo and condition treatment and all that sort of stuff, get them to check in at the basin. So you might want to put a little thing up on the wall in the basin area. Have you liked our social media? Get them to make sure that they're following you, because there's no point in doing all this fantastic stuff on social media if it's not getting to your clients. So you might want to incentivize your clients perhaps to follow you on social media. So you might offer them a complimentary blah, 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 when they check in your salon. So, that also too, the friends of their friends, you're reaching them because they go, I often wondered where she had her hair done. Oh, that's fantastic. Look, I haven't been happy with where I've been going. Perhaps I might go and try that. So everyone, that's it from me. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to share some great ideas for how you could market your salon and how you can attract new clients to your salon as well. So for some of you, you may have heard it all before, but for some of you, it may be something new. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.